I mean, Chad is one of the worst looking characters to put in a video game that I've seen in a long time.
I would say, I'm looking at her right now, I would say that I think she is a very normal looking person and is not a traditional. I'm not finished. She is a normal looking person. Like, if I saw her walking around, I wouldn't be like, oh my God. I'd be like, oh, I wouldn't even think about her. But she certainly is not your tradition. I know, I'm not done. But she's certainly not the traditional leading lady that you're used to seeing in TV in Hollywood. So what? But so what?
If you check Disney Plus.
Okay, so what? But why does that bother you so much? What does it matter?
All these things are failing. I want.
Well, so you're worried about the money. You're worried about Xbox's money?
No, I'm worried about my entertainment, my enjoyment.
You've never played a Fable game in your life, you said. This probably isn't for you anyway. Every game doesn't have to be for you. Xbox may have said the women in our lives, the women in our workplace are telling us we love gaming, our money spends just as much as the men's, and we're tired of every time there's a female character, she's got to be somebody that people like Pturtle want to fuck. Let somebody else handle that, but if you're going to spend $300 million on a goddamn video game to make and market it, could you at least try to make something that 51% of the population doesn't find consistently offensive? What's the problem? Go play something else.
You made God of War 1, and thank God.
And I would make it again the same way, but I couldn't make it that way probably at Sony. I'm not saying overt sexuality. We've had this conversation ad nauseum. What?
As a consumer, should that not be something we complain about? Should that not be something to be pushed back? Because nobody's going to buy a toy of this character. Nobody's going to buy a poster of these characters.
So what?
Nobody.
So good. So maybe if it turns out...
You have to look at these corporations doing this.
But if it turns out... of course not. If it turns out that this doesn't make money, these decisions, then they'll do something else. I mean, what do you want? This is what they think this is going to work for them.
We're seeing that that's not true.
We're not saying that's not true. This idea of go woke, go broke. I mean, sure, if you're aiming specifically to a bunch of alcoholics that drink whatever that fucking beer was, fine, maybe. But video games? I mean, we don't have a history of that not selling.
I think last about The Little Mermaid and saying, oh, well, look, it made $100 million. I thought, go broke. It turns out that movie is going to fail. And
okay, but you think it's because she's a black person?
And listen, I don't know why it is, but obviously whatever they did...
Well, why bring it up in this conversation then? Here's the deal, man. I know your point of view. I understand it. And to a tiny position, I respect it because everybody has a right to feel what they want. But I don't agree with you. I think most women and most men are not really good looking. And I understand there is entertainment out there where people are the alphas visually, and we like to look at pretty people, and that's great. And that has not gone away. But ultimately, Xbox, Sony, whoever have looked at the data, looked at their people, looked at their hearts. I don't know what causes them to make decisions and said, we're going to go with this for a while. It seems like the right thing to do. And if it turns out it's not, they'll have their lunch eaten by them and they'll either go out of business or pivot. But people like you are assholes when it comes to this. There are people out there that don't look great. What about the gay kid? What about the trans kid? What about the woman or the man who's just an average looking person and they see themselves represented in media for the first time and they're not a joke? They're not the gay neighbor. They're not the step and fetch it black character that's just kind of like, oh lordy, yes, whatever it is in the fucking Gone with the Wind. And finally says, holy shit, you're telling me that the world can recognize, especially people who are backwards, who don't know anyone who's different from them, that people like us are valid and real too. Well, I'm sorry if you don't like that, then you're an asshole.
Okay, listen, I don't think Mario is attractive. I don't think he's gorgeous. I don't think he's big and strong. Look, Mario's probably the greatest human character of all time. We just don't want this bullshit. We don't want...
Then don't buy it, Pturtle. Then don't buy it. No one cares.
Nobody will.
Good. Then they won't, and they'll have to change. But in the meantime, take the hate, take the cruelty, Think about if there's a woman watching this right now and she loves video games, but she's not traditionally attractive according to what our current day society says is attractive. And she's like, motherfucker, I like the fact I can make a character that looks like me. I like that I can be a hero. Think about what you're doing. You're basically shitting in her face, Pturtle, and that may be your thing, and that's fine. I respect that. But look, you're basically...
When you put your art out there, that's what you put it out there for, to be criticized. And I'm sorry.
All right, buddy, I'm going to let you go. I got some super chats and some new members. We will never agree, but I always love you. Be good, be well, be safe. Stop hating women. Stop hating LGBT people. Stop being mean to people. Thank you, Pturtle. I appreciate it, buddy. Shoka steps up to the plate, says, Pturtle's making my ears hurt. Oh, yeah, I understand. He says he has a girlfriend. That's my favorite. He says he has a girlfriend that feeds him grapes. Come on now. We know that's not true. We know it's not true. Clay, thank you, buddy. Clay 1988 steps up with some ducats. He says, Penis Turtle is so insecure. Otherwise, he wouldn't make... He's going to call right back. You know he is. He's so insecure, says Clay. Otherwise, he wouldn't make such a big deal each and every time. He desperately wants to try some cock. Well, maybe he does, but all I know is that this guy is consistently calling me. He won't send us his picture. Like, you gotta assume Pturtle's the best looking motherfucker in the goddamn world. You guys are making fun of the lady on the screen. I understand. I understand she doesn't fit the traditional look. But, again, how mean is that? I mean, like, newsflash, you don't probably fit the traditional look. Everybody is just kind of normal. Just give us generic girl, not overly ugly or beautiful. She is a generic girl. Would you like it if women were out in the world making decisions about your video games and stuff, and all the men didn't even come close to looking like you? You know, and it's like men could not be anything other in any medium than super fucking good looking. I know women judge dudes, yes, but I'm talking about in entertainment. Kratos is not a good looking guy. We made sure he wasn't a good looking guy. Hey, it's Jaffe. What's up?
I don't agree with the dude, Pturtle. I think he's kind of a douchebag, but I think his point is, we got enough ugly in the goddamn world. Like, you know what I'm saying? We got enough of it. It's like in our video games, our music, our media, people need to be hot. Like, you know what I'm saying? Even hot chicks like looking at hot chicks.
I understand, and that exists. I mean, look at this fucking statue of Spider-Woman behind me. I like looking at hot women, too. But I'm not going to act like...
we all do.
Okay, but I'm not going to act like just because there are very expensive entertainment properties now that exist, that people have said we want more representation, that I'm being denied. I can get what I'm looking for everywhere. Right? I mean, do you have a lack of good-looking woman?
Who exactly is saying that? Who's asking for ugly chicks on the screen?
It's not ugly chicks. That's the whole fucking point. It's not about them being ugly chicks. It's about the concept of what is acceptable to be good looking needs to be challenged and questioned, because there's a lot of people that want representation. There's a whole campaign right now. This whole campaign got mocked mercilessly. I know there's a bit of a delay, so you can't see it on your screen yet. But Dove, the soap company or whatever, is like, hey, look, we want to bring more average looking people to video games because there's value in representation. I mean, look, you know, whether you go back to stereotypes.
The standards are changing though. It's like, remember, like when, like, I'm a black dude, right?
Okay.
It's like, you know, black men, we always like fat asses, right?
That's what that's the cliche.
In America where white men see a woman with a fat ass, and that shit was fucking gross.
Yeah.
She fat, she disgusting.
Yep.
They like that flat iron booty ass, like from the white bitches in like the 1960s
like Kate Moss and all that stuff. Yeah.
And it's changed. It's like white. Well, I think white men now can appreciate a fat ass too on any color woman.
Excellent.
So things are changing.
Good. Why do you think they're changing?
Shit, I don't know.
Well, maybe because people are pushing for diversity.
Social media plays a part in a lot of this shit.
What?
Social media. I think it plays a part in a lot of this. It's like women judging women. You know, social media. I think it's playing a huge part in, you know, why everybody's chasing those beauty standards. It's like we look at the J-Lo's and the Kim Kardashians, and every woman kind of want to emulate that look.
Why?
Like that's social media. Like you saying why they want to emulate that?
Yeah, what value is it? I mean, don't you think we would be a better society if we didn't look at people and say, I want their look versus I want my look, and I'll just make my look the best version of myself I can be? You know, the reason everybody wants that look is society says this is acceptable, and if you don't check off these markers, we're going to call you ugly and tell you you don't belong in a video game or a movie or a video. Would you want your children being susceptible to that?
No.
No.
I suppose not.
I don't understand. People are just being assholes to people. It's like, look, there are people out there that you're not going to want to fuck. Chances are they don't want to fuck you either. But they can be in a fucking video game. They're going to be in a movie.
Ain't that the truth?
You goddamn right. You goddamn right. People like me who look like I do, you got to work extra fucking hard, but I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it because
me too.
I rolled 18s on a bunch of other fucking categories. But the fact of the matter is I'm tired. You know, the way men act when there are women out there who don't fit their beauty standards are just, I don't know, man. It's like they're so fucking, they can't even put themselves in the shoes of these women, which is why I ask myself what is really going on with them psychologically. Because they have to know what they're saying is hurtful. And maybe it's because they feel they've been judged by women and this is how they can get back at them. I could see that. I could see an ugly guy going up to a woman and getting shot down over and over and over, and finally they've got some anger there. And so they're pushing back, and the women are allowed to push back. But if the men push back in society, they're problematic. I think that's unfair.
Yeah.
But I think what would be valuable is really getting to the heart of it psychologically instead of just continuing to be on this fucking treadmill of this person's fucking ugly and she's fucking fat and he's fucking dumb. Why don't we really get to the bottom of it and stop being mean to people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we don't live in a perfect world either, Jaffe.
That's my job, baby. I'm here. I'm here with you, sir, to help usher in the perfect world. That's our job, man. But listen, thank you for calling, buddy, and I'll talk to you later.
All right, man.
All right, see you, dude.